Hi, I'm Richardworr, Gabriel's messenger. For this particular video, I'd like to talk about the afterlife. What you should expect when you die. What is the truth when you die? Well, the truth is that all human beings have a soul. You only have one life that begins at conception, and you will mature into an adult no matter what. Whether you died at 1, whether you died at 10, whether you die at 110, your soul can only mature into that young adult, that mature young adult. So if you do make it to 110, you revert to that young adult because your soul doesn't age with your physical body. When you get there, wherever you pass, you just cross over to that area. You're not being zoomed off to a life review. You're not being zoomed off to meet some people. You can't zoom off. If you are to go somewhere, you have to use your imagination to get there, to think about that place. You can't just go against your will. The place you end up is heaven. They call what happens around all of us that coexists with us is heaven. If they ever think about a hell, they think about us in the physical. Because the only hell you can experience is here. And the real evil things that we can do to each other happens just on this side. Because you can't physically harm someone on that side. Plus the fact that you can become invisible if you didn't even want to be around somebody. Or you could think yourself away and they can't follow you anyways. So there's no physical harm. God's made it in a way that the other side is just perfect. When you pass, if you're lucky, you're that young adult, you'll meet maybe people that passed before you. If you meet your great-great-grandparents over there, you're going to meet them as young adults. So you may not even recognize them unless you've seen pictures of them young. If you're fortunate and they know you're passing, then obviously they'll be there to greet you. If not, you'll figure it out pretty quick. Or they'll figure it out pretty quick. So they'll meet you before long. They'd have to know where you're at, but they can meet you. What are some of the cool things you could do on that side? I think the first thing I was ever told when I started using my recorders was that they think travel is something that's immensely cool over there. Because they only have to think of a place and they're there. They only have to use their imagination and they're there. So if you wanted to be at the pyramids, I could literally think of it now and I'd be there within a second. Because I've tested it. I've asked somebody to go to the pyramid and then come back. Say you're leaving and coming back. And it literally took seconds for them to go there, touch the pyramid, come back, and say they've returned. So that's an incredible thing you can do over there. But for me personally, the most amazing thing you can do over there is you can have children. Because as a 60-year-old man that was never married on this side, and I got a story to tell about that, having married someone on that side, that I look forward to having children. And I've asked Gabriel, who can see into the future, and saying, do we have lots of children together? And it's like, yeah, you do. And it's like, oh, I don't know what a relief that is for me personally. Because I've always wanted to have children. And I'm going to have it with a wonderful woman. So I'm looking forward to my time over there. But that's an incredible thing. And how do I know that? Well, multiple people have had children here. Elizabeth Tudor had a child here. My mom had a child here. Others have had a child here. So that's an incredible thing to know. And it's something that I've never heard before, but it's an absolute fact. And I've talked to my sister over there. And you can talk to her pretty fast, because I think the period of the pregnancy is only like 6.5 months. So it's not even 9 months. And there's nothing stopping that child from learning right away. I was thinking they'd be just staying in the same spot and stuff, but no. They can move around pretty quick. And they learn really quick too. So I think that's incredible, learning that. Other things they can do: travel to the moon, travel in outer space if you like. There's nothing that stops you. As pure energy. There's nothing that can harm you. Besides the fact that another human being can't harm you in any way. You can levitate on that side. So it's kind of cool. You kind of levitate and move through things. Makes for more room in here anyway, so more people can come in here if they want to hang out. But there are trade-offs for that. You know, I mean, it's like most stories you hear where things are moving through objects. Yes, you can absolutely, as energy, walk through things. They can walk through me. They can't walk through each other, but they can walk through me. So that's given me the thought that your soul technically doesn't exist till you're dead. Like literally dead. Because they can go through me now. So if my soul was just sitting in here, they shouldn't be able to go through me. So for whatever reason, it doesn't exist till you die. It's there, but it doesn't come into that kind of existence till you die. Now you might say, where do you get your soul? Well, from what I've learned, it's not a natural evolution thing. Maybe the physical bodies we got and who we become is the universe and the physical manifesting itself till it got to us. So evolution is a thing, but God is also a thing. And God came in hundreds of thousands of years ago and gave a soul to, whether it was a group of human beings at that time, and every single human being after that has had a soul. So if you want to think of the majesty and grandeur of God, just think of that just one moment, and everything since then is immortal, basically. Because Gabriel has said, I can meet them 14 billion years from now. I said, well, if the universe continued for as long as it's existed so far, can I meet you in that time if somehow we knew where each other were? And they agreed, so I know our souls are at least that long, which is an incredible amount of time. That's just a few of the things about that side. Everyone that's ever exists still exists. There's no such thing as reincarnation. That is not a thing. I mean, I've met Cleopatra. How many people say they were Cleopatra? No, the real Cleopatra, who's actually Cleopatra, still exists. Still who she is. You know, it's strange that people would even want that, but that's not a thing. I've even had it on my channel, Siddhartha Gautama, Buddha, come in and say, you have one soul, your own, basically. I would hope people will find that comforting, because you're not somebody else. You are who you are, and you have literally endless time to improve upon yourself, to learn, to be better. It's not like you can be bad over there. Considering that part, I know people believe in a hell, that there's a physical hell where people get tormented, and no. I can tell you the other side is just heaven. There is absolutely no hell. There's no place where your soul can be harmed. I mean, short of God doing that, that just doesn't happen. I think God expects you to repent, to renounce maybe any evil deeds that you've done in this life. But they are a loving God who's shown, just from what I know about the afterlife, that it's a beautiful place. And finally, I just want you to all know that every soul that's ever existed before us, that has passed on to that side, lives amongst us, bearing witness to everything we do. So there's nothing you could do that they won't know. They perceive each other as clearly as we perceive each other, as well as perceiving us as clearly as they see each other over there. Which may seem strange, because we can't witness them at all. We have no perception of that side. But they sure have a clear perception of us, hear us, see us, as clearly as they see each other on that side. And I mean, that side has its own ambient light, so it's never dark over there. I guess the energy realm has that ongoing brightness on its own. So I just wanted to share that with you as a final takeaway from this video on the afterlife. Thanks for listening. Appreciate you all.